This, then, is Santee Cooper, one of the greatest accomplishments and one of the greatest resources of South Carolina.
Threats of media involvement are unnecessary and I think you'll find ineffective. That's how South Carolina's government-ran utility, Santee Cooper, responded to residents of Waterside Drive when they uncovered what they're calling a backdoor deal reeking of corruption. The newfound event surrounds a transaction supported by Santee Cooper's vice chairman, in which a nonprofit ran by his business partner's wife could inherit a multi-million-dollar property for free. The question now is whether or not an oversight committee will block Santee Cooper from adding to their $10 billion debt for perpetrating the largest business failure in South Carolina history. Remember Newtgate? This is RankinGate. In the wake of a black market drug scandal claiming the lives of multiple animals under her care, Grand Strand Humane Society President Lindsay Rankin texted Santee Cooper's second vice chairman, David Singleton. What the former lobbyist turned president of an embattled nonprofit wanted was millions of dollars worth of Santee Cooper-owned property at no charge to the Humane Society she presides over. Singleton not only responded to Lindsay's request immediately, but committed himself to what residents are calling a blatant conflict of interest by texting, quote, "Think we can make something happen? Winky face." And why does this matter? Because Lindsay is the wife of 8-term Senator Luke Rankin, who not only appointed Singleton to Santee Cooper's board in 2011, but owns 50% of a real estate firm in which Singleton is a managing member. It's also worth noting that 2 of Santee Cooper's board members have donated thousands to Luke's campaign since 2019, according to data from the South Carolina State Ethics Commission. The same numbers indicate that Luke spent several $1,000s to finance an adoption event for the GSHS in 2018 and went so far as to endorse his wife's nonprofit during a now-deleted campaign ad in 2022.
I'm Luke Rankin. I serve in the state senate and am a proud supporter of Grand Strand Humane Society.
This information, and so much more, was uncovered by residents of the Waterside Drive neighborhood after they learned of GSHS's impending land deal through a press release from Santee Cooper last December. They were furthermore shocked to learn that Lindsay purportedly handpicked the $8 million property in question and supposedly seeks to expand GSHS around 80 feet from some back doors. And why does that matter? Because newly uncovered documents indicate a push from Chairman Singleton to, quote, "do this below the radar," as Santee Cooper was purportedly concerned about a, quote, "fallout from neighbors." Unbeknownst to residents, the co-op's employees had supposedly implored Singleton to find another property as the parcel in question is not only used for operations, but adjacent to the utility's combustion turbines. Those concerns came to peak on August 28th when Singleton received an email from Santee Cooper's chief commercial officer stating, quote, "when those turbines do run, they are likely to be noisy, which increases the likelihood of rousing and startling nearby animals. Obviously, the proximity to residential homes increases the likelihood of concerns from neighbors to the facility." 3 months later, Chief Public Affairs Officer Pamela Williams concluded that Singleton's friendship with Lindsay was not a conflict of interest, as he did not have material financial interest with any entity standing to benefit from Lindsay's lease. It's worth noting that Santee Cooper's freshman CEO Jimmy Statton labeled the allegations against Singleton as, quote, "baseless, unfounded, and unsubstantiated," only to purportedly go quiet after homeowners received their Freedom of Information Act requests. The fate of Lindsay's project now lies in the hands of South Carolina's Joint Bond Review Committee, a 10-person council responsible for the approval or denial of any state-funded capital project. Early returns are not encouraging for Waterside residents, though, as at least one JBRC staffer, Director of Research Richard Harmon, have contributed to Luke's campaign efforts more than once. The question now is how JBRC will react to these residents when they show up to the State House on Wednesday, March 20th, to oppose approval of this project. As we were sitting down to record this story, Santee Cooper provided FITSNews with a 3-paragraph statement that reads, in part, There have been allegations that a Santee Cooper board member violated conflict of interest requirements in an action associated with a proposed gratis lease to the Grand Strand Humane Society. Santee Cooper takes such actions seriously and hired an external, independent law firm to thoroughly investigate the allegations. The independent review found no violations of applicable conflict of interest laws or policies. The reviewer also noted that prior to his vote of the gratis lease, the director sought and received an opinion that he did not have a conflict in the matter. For FITSNews.com, I'm Andrew Fancher.
The challenge of fulfilling that dream. The reality of Santee Cooper.